it's really important when tapping to recognize the little people. So when we first tapped our first season at Black Creek Farm, we had gone out to just to be in relation with the trees, just to see them and acknowledge them and say hi to them and put our tobacco down, and also, see if the sap was flowing yet. And at the furthest end of the bush, it was like raining from the trees. The squirrels had been biting off the little buds, and they like to suck the sap like as if they're straws. And it was dripping, 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 dripping. So we got very excited. Clearly the sap was flowing. So we came back a few days later, and we started at that end again where it was flowing so well. We put in our taps, but we were eager and we were kind of rushing through it. And it wasn't until we got a little bit further down that we slowed it down, and we were a bit more intentional with our practice of honorable harvest. And we were putting down the tobacco, but there was just a rushed excitement of it. And when we come back to collect the sap, there was none in those first few buckets. Even though it was still dripping from the tree, it was not coming through. So we're trying to adjust the taps, and it wasn't flowing. And then I had a conversation with a fella that I know from community who's from the United of Thames, and was talking about this happening. And he said, when I was a youth, I went out with my pals to set up some buckets, and we put a bunch out, and we came back the next day, and all the buckets were on the ground. Put them back up, back out the next day, again, all on the ground. This happened a few times. Finally, he thought, I'm going to go ask an elder what this is about. And the elder says, well, did you acknowledge the little people? Shoot, they didn't at all. He said, well, now not only do you need to acknowledge the little people every time you go out there, but you're going to need to feast them. You got to bring a spirit plate out. You really got to set things right with them, get into right relations with them. And he went on to say the elder was very specific that when you put your tobacco down, it has to touch the ground, that you actually have to get your finger dirty, open the earth up a little bit to really make that connection, that spirit connection, so that it can send across, the rhizosphere through the trees so that the little people will hear that.